Today's video, I'm going to teach you guys a 100% risk-free MT method that you can use pretty much any time in the year. So let's get to it. Alrighty, so as I said, guys, I'm going to teach you guys a 100% risk-free MT method. So what this is, it's the discard method. So you guys are probably familiar with it from past years, but the amount of people that I actually bring this method up to surprisingly don't know that this method exists. And it's quite as I said, literally risk-free. So what this method entails is you're going to be picking up cards for basically their discard values. What you're going to be doing is you'll find the cheapest buy now for most cards. So emeralds at the moment are about 700. So what you can do, if you pick up a card for 550 MT, which is what emeralds are discard for, when you do sell them, you make 85 MT a card. Now, again, this isn't really a method that you're going to be doing if you have a million MT or 500k MT. It's more of like if you're just starting out getting 10, 20k MT. If you're spending like 500 MT on a card and you're making about 80 MT per card, that's a decent profit margin. So what you're going to be doing is you will find the cheapest buy now for any card. So emerald is about 700 or 750. And what you're going to be doing then is just based off of if you sell it for 750, you're going to be making... If you start off at 750, you're going to be making quite a more profit margin on the card. So then what you're going to be doing is you're going to just be bidding 550 on every single one of these cards. So some of them, obviously, I found issues with certain cards. The original 2020 collection I found issues with because they're cards that if you can pick up, you can make quite a bit of MT on them. So on these ones, I do tend to bid a little bit more. Just because, so if I just show you guys what the current NBA players are selling for, you'll find that majority of them are selling for a little bit more. So you can scroll and you're into obviously the 3 hour and 40 section after about 10 or so cards. This can differ depending on which card it is. So there's certain emerald cards that you can sell. So if I just quickly get rid of all these, there's certain emerald cards that you can sell that are worth more than 1000 MT. There is obviously going to be some cards that you do miss out on. So in terms of these ones that are these sapphire ones, what you're going to be doing if you want to pick up sapphires, I do recommend you throw in a filter on this as long with sapphires. So majority of the time that you search for sapphires, there's going to be loads for 700. And if you sell a card for 700, you pick it up for 600, you're going to make it 30 MT. If you sell it for 750, you're going to be making about 75 MT, depending on obviously the card and how much you pick the card up for. What you're going to be doing is you go to Sapphire. Now, if you want to chuck in a filter, a theme, I do recommend the 2020 collection series because as you can see at the 750, there's not that many cards listed up. So we're just going to keep going to 800. Again, we're still in with within the 1 hour mark. So this is obviously a very nice method to have. So what I'm going to be doing then is I will go back down, bid on them for 600 MT, and you see in my auction outcomes, guys, there is quite a few ones that I've won, and I haven't just filtered through all of the ones that I've lost. Now, when you get to the point of this, when you get to like the 33-minute mark, this very much depends on the day that you're doing it. If you're doing this on a content day where there's gonna be packs opened up, not in the case of obviously the 2020 series because you can't get them in regular packs anymore. But if you go back down to the 21 series, as you can see, there's quite a few more cards up. Now, what you can do is on days where there's content released, you can get a lot of cards for the discard value. So I'm just gonna be bidding 600 on most of these. Kristaps is kind of a iffy one because sometimes you can just go for the discard value. But in terms of obviously the just picking up for discard, if it's a content day, you can pick these up on a discard bid very, very, very easily. Now, in terms of rubies, you can do this with rubies. I find that the results for rubies aren't that great because most rubies sell for 900 MT. Now, if you sell a card for 900 MT, you're only going to get 810, and the discard value for rubies is 800. So in terms of this one, there is obviously more room to pick them up in terms of if you can get them, if no one else bids on them, if you guys get what I mean. But I bid on a few. Obviously, we're in the 3-minute mark. If these cards slip by for 500, you're going to make quite a decent bank on certain cards. Now, obviously, this isn't going to happen with every single card. You are going to be, obviously, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on the competition. Obviously, now that this video has come out, there might be more competition for this method, but depending on the time of day that you do this, you can find some really decent results. So if we're going back down to Sapphire, I'm just going to bid 600 on all of these. And if you don't win them, you're not losing anything. And even if you do win them, you have a 100% guarantee that you're going to be making profit because, well, you're buying them for discard. And even if they go down in price, you aren't losing anything because you've bought them for discard. It is a 100% risk-free method. Now, if it's in the case of like this, where we're into the 40-minute mark, obviously you can switch up your filter as well. So in terms of that, I'd go back down to emeralds and just bid on all the emeralds. In terms of like this, if you get to like the 10, 12, 15-minute mark, and there's cards that are obviously you keep going, and there are no more cards to be bidding on for about, you know, for about 10 to 20 minutes. What I would do then is I would just go play a triple threat game. I'll go play a triple threat online game, probably not, but I'll go play a triple threat game, try and get obviously that extra bit of MT, because you can get 2 to 300 MT just based on the game. And also then you can have the opportunity of the board opening, on the vault opening. So yeah, you can definitely pick up some decent stuff in the vault. Obviously you can get some garbage stuff on obviously the case of the vault not opening. But in terms of like if you're just bidding on the cards and then you come to a point where there's no cards to be bidding on for about 10 to 20 minutes, just go play a triple threat game. Also, you have the time of then, you have the cards you have to list up. So there is going to be cards you have to list up as well. I tend to find decent results with the original 2020 emeralds. So if I just go search this Jonathan Isaac real quick, Jonathan Isaac, emerald, even if you just don't have an emerald, you can just filter it to the 2020 current series. And if we just scroll through, as you can see, 750, we've picked it up, we picked the card up for 550. You take 750 off of, you take 75 off of 750. You're going to be ending up with about 675 off the top of my head, or 685. So that's at least 100 MT per card. Obviously, if you're picking up a lot of cards, there's a lot of MT made. Again, this isn't a method for if you have like 1,000,000 MT. This isn't a method for if you have like 500k MT. This is a method for if you're just starting out, you have about 10, 20k. This is a great method in order to invest your MT to make more MT. So I'm going to go list up that Jonathan Isaac real quick, if I even chucked him in here. Yes, I did. I have 2 of them. All right, so extra profit to be made there. Again, guys, this is a 100% risk-free method because you are picking up the cards for basically, well, what their discard value is. In some cases as well. So what you can do is you can just straight up discard the card for profit. So in terms of like this Russell Westbrook, I bid 600 and getting a 50 auction house refund. What I can do is I can just discard the card for an extra 50 MT. If you wanted to do that. Obviously, we're not going to do that. We're going to send it to our auctions, and then we're going to go search through the auctions. We're going to go to Russell Westbrook. All right, we have Sapphire, Russell Westbrook, none popping up for 850 MT. So we're obviously going to list ours for 850 MT, and we're going to make some decent profit off that one, just based off of, we bought one of them for 550, so we're making decent profit on that one. And obviously, even on the 600 one, if you take 850 from, if you take 85 from 850, that's still about 100, 200 MT profit on that card. So that's it for the video, guys. For the most part, that is it for the method. If you guys have found this method helpful, if you could drop a like in the video and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here, it really motivates me to make more content for you guys. And of course, guys, that's it for the video. I shall see you guys all later. Take care and peace.